Friends and family are mourning the loss of Dyron Ricolfi, the second victim in a double shooting that also claimed the life of NOPD Detective Everett Briscoe. Ricolfi passed away yesterday at a Houston hospital. They were both vacationing in Houston when two men shot them during what was believed to be a botched armed robbery. Accused gang members, 21-year-old Anthony Jenkins and 19-year-old Frederick Jackson, have been arrested in connection with that fatal shooting. They are both charged with capital murder. The news of Dyron Ricolfi's passing hits home to many people here in New Orleans. City Council member J.H. Banks knew both victims. They were all Zulu members. He's joining us on the phone this morning to discuss. Thank you so much for being with us. I can't imagine how hard this is for you.
Good morning. No, this is definitely not the easiest time for any of us. This is actually surreal, and this nightmare continues, and it is just so horrific what happened. And it continues to happen. There's a cancer of violence across this nation, and it is consuming too many people, too many lives, and just too much sorrow that I'm prayerful that at some point we figure out how to stop this, because this is just crazy.
It really is. I truly am sorry for your loss, and I know we spoke about loss during this pandemic. You lost so many Zulu members then.
You know, Zulu has been hit hard, and I don't know which of us threw a brick in the church or something, but I sure hope they don't pick up any more bricks, because we have just been surrounded by death from COVID and now to this, and we just don't seem to be able to catch a break. But we are relying on each other. Zulu is strong. Our heads are blooded but unbowed. But let me tell you, this is not easy, and it just continues that it looks like every time we see a little bit of light at the tunnel, it turns out to be a train coming. So, but hopefully we will all get through this. But please know that Zulu is strong. Our commitment to this community will never waver. Matter of fact, I'm giving a distribution this afternoon with supplies, with water and cleaning supplies, and there'll be Zulu members out there helping me to do that today. We're doing that at 1 o'clock at the Israelites Baptist Church, and Zulu's commitment to New Orleans will never go away, even though we are definitely in mourning and have been in a perpetual mourning since all of this craziness started.
Yeah, we recognize that. Appreciate you guys so much in this community. You mean so much to New Orleans and the surrounding areas. Let's talk about the storm. Where did you ride that storm out? What did you experience, and how's your family doing?
All right, well, I was here. I mean, I stayed. I evacuated my entire family. I was the only person named Banks in New Orleans in this family. My family all went to Florida. Leadership has its obligations, and as a leader in this community, I felt obligated to stay. I actually rolled it out in my house. It was not fun. We have some damage that is more of an inconvenience than an irritant. Some shingles blew off, and some of the siding blew off. Rainwater came through several of the windows. But again, other than inconvenience, we've got sheetrock to change and insulation to get rid of, and then obviously got to put new gutters up and new roofing stuff up. But we fared out pretty well. And when you compare this to what happened to Katrina, I'm doing cartwheels. I mean, I had 7 feet of water in my house for Katrina. That one I did not ride out. We went to Houston for that one. But no, New Orleans fared out well with this, and my family as well. We are all just grateful that the loss of life was absolutely at a minimum, that the loss of property was at a minimum. New Orleans is going to bounce back quickly. I am very, very proud of both of our utility companies that have stood up. We had a Category 4 hurricane and a complete loss of power, yet Sewage and Water Board functioned exemplary. There was no massive flooding. That is surreal in this world, and I'm excited that they did that. And I want to publicly commend all of them. And then Entergy has just been phenomenal in getting the lights back on. There has never been a catastrophic outage like this where the transmission line collapsed. But we've got lights coming on right now. So both of those folks, both of those entities, and all of those very committed, hardworking employees need to be commended. And I know that folks like to take shots at both of them, and many times those shots are justified. Mm-hmm. But in this case, everybody ought to be clapping and cheering them, because they have done an exemplary job.
Yeah, for those things that are going well, there's also, you see the gas lines. I know you've seen that. We all are. You've seen people who just can't get the essentials that they need right now. Do you think there's anything that needs to be done on a greater effort to make sure people have basic things like gas?
Well, obviously, I mean, we have been in conversations working on getting generators to open more gas stations. The power coming up will alleviate some of that. That'll help more gas stations come online. And then basic stuff. I'm sending a letter today to the insurance commissioner to ask him to please put pressure on these insurance companies that are refusing to acknowledge loss of use. Now, the fact that an emergency happened is indisputable. The fact that a mandatory evacuation was not called, there wasn't time to do that. That technicality should not penalize the citizens or the insured people that pay their insurances every month or every year. We ought to be able to get those benefits. And right now we've got a whole community that is displaced because of the power outage caused by the storm. And then when you layer that into the fact that we're in a heat crisis, this is just crazy that the insurance companies are not willing to help with this loss of use. And I'm hoping that the insurance commissioner can put enough pressure on them to make them have some changes to that. We've got to get what we need along all lines, from gas to being able to get people resources to making sure that we can get people food and water while they do the cleanup. This is going to be a comprehensive effort, and so far we've done okay, but we've got a lot more to go, and I'm going to keep pressing until we get there.
All right, definitely glad to hear you reaching out to the insurance commissioner about that. When you get an update, you hear word, because as you said, based on a technicality, because we didn't have a mandatory evacuation, because Mayor Cantrell says there wasn't time for that, a lot of people missing out on some insurance benefits. So Jay, please keep us updated.
I will do that. And again, the 72 hours is the threshold. We didn't have 72 hours. This storm moved incredibly fast. So we're going to do all we can do to get it fixed, though.
All right, J.H. Banks, again, so sorry for the loss that you're dealing with right now. We appreciate you for joining us.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And everybody out there in New Orleans, please be safe. And don't forget, we're still in a pandemic. So please continue to wear your mask. If you haven't gotten a vaccination, get that. We got a lot of crises. This is like a Gambino's Dobash cake. This has a lot of layers, but we got to address all of them. So please make sure you all are being COVID conscious, because that problem hadn't gone away either.
All right, and thanks for bringing up cake. We need something to look forward to. Appreciate talking to you, Jay.
There you go.
All right, take
care. See you later.